When you think single cell, what comes to mind? Probably a tiny little blob, right? Something you can only see with a microscope. But what if I told you that's not always the deal? Today, we're going to dive into the giants of the microscopic world. We're talking single cells so big they totally blow our expectations out of the water. And, as you'll see, they've literally changed the course of science. Let's get into it. All right, let's kick things off with a question for you. What do you think is the biggest single-celled organism on our entire planet? Maybe some kind of giant amoeba? Or a really weird type of bacteria? Just take a second, try to picture it. Well, surprise, you are looking at one of them right now. Yep, this thing. This is called Valonia ventricosa, but it's got a way cooler nickname, the sailor's eyeball. And get this, that whole glistening green sphere you see resting there in the palm of a hand, that's just one single cell. I'm serious, it's not a colony of cells, it's not some weird little plant, it's one cell. And honestly, this is just the beginning of the wild discoveries we're about to get into. Okay, so how exactly have these cellular giants actually shaped our world? Let's start with a puzzle that's been millions of years in the making. We're going deep, deep into the fossil record for this one. So for a long, long time, paleontologists were just stumped. They kept finding these strange, winding tracks in ancient seafloor sediment. Now, tracks like these suggest an animal, right? Something with muscles, a body, something complex. But here's the problem. These tracks were from a time way before complex, multicellular animals were even supposed to exist. So what in the world was making them? Well, the answer turned out to be a kind of time traveler, Gromia sphaerica. This thing is another giant single cell, and what does it do? It rolls itself along the ocean floor. And as it moves, you guessed it, it leaves behind tracks that look identical to those ancient fossils. This discovery was a huge deal. It proved you don't need a complex body to make a complex trail, which completely rewrote our whole understanding of the evolutionary timeline. Okay, so from rewriting the past, let's jump to an organism that's actually helping us understand the present and maybe even protect the future of our oceans. So say hello to Spiculosiphon oceana. I know, at first glance you're probably thinking it's a sponge, but nope, it's another single cell and it's a total master of disguise. It actually builds this incredibly intricate structure for itself, and it lives in one of the most extreme environments you can imagine on Earth, right next to deep-sea hydrothermal vents. And this is why it's so incredibly important. See, because Spiculosiphon only thrives in these very specific conditions. Just finding it can lead scientists to brand new hydrothermal vents. But it's more than that. The health of this one cell directly reflects the chemistry of the water all around it. That makes it basically the perfect canary in the coal mine for the deep sea, giving us a crucial early warning about huge threats like ocean acidification. Incredible, right? Okay, now let's circle back to our old friend, the sailor's eyeball. It turns out it didn't just mess with our perceptions of what a cell is. It actually helped build the modern world we live in. Just think about it for a second. Paper, cardboard, your t-shirts, even some plastics, they all depend on something called cellulose. It's the most abundant organic polymer on the entire planet. But for centuries, its fundamental molecular structure was a total mystery. And not knowing that was holding back some major industrial innovations. And this is where the sailor's eyeball makes its grand return. Scientists started studying its cell wall, which is just remarkably tough and perfectly organized. By analyzing this one giant cell, they finally cracked the code. They unlocked the complex molecular structure of cellulose. And that one discovery, it paved the way for the modern paper, cardboard, and plastics industries. Yeah, there's a direct line from that little green orb to the box your last delivery came in. But the impact doesn't stop with industry. Not even close. Our last example helped answer one of the most fundamental questions in all of biology. I know it sounds so basic to us today, but for a long time, it was a profound mystery. What part of a living cell actually acts as its brain? Its command center. Where does it keep all the instructions for life? For a while there, the main theory was that all the instructions for life were just kind of spread out through the whole cell. The idea of a single central command center just hadn't been proven yet. The real breakthrough was the discovery that one specific part, the nucleus, held all the genetic blueprints. So how'd they prove it? Well, enter Acetabularia. It's this beautiful, almost umbrella-shaped single-celled algae. scientists came up with this really elegant experiment. They took two different species, they cut the cap from one and the foot, which has the nucleus, from the other, and then they grafted them together. And what happened? The new cap that grew back always matched the species that donated the nucleus. It was absolutely conclusive proof. The nucleus is the command center. And that finding became the bedrock of modern biology. Okay, let's tie all of this together. We've looked at ancient tracks on the seafloor, deep-sea vents, modern industry, and the very foundation of biology itself. And what's the common thread running through all these incredible stories? You got it, single-celled giants. From Gromia completely rewriting ancient history, to the sailor's eyeball providing the blueprint for entire industries, and Acetabularia defining the very core of biology, these unlikely heroes have had a totally outsized impact on our world. And that right there is the crucial takeaway. These organisms are this powerful reminder that sometimes these simplest-looking things can hold the keys to our most complex questions. Profound scientific breakthroughs are often hiding in the most unexpected places. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As you go about your day, just think about this. What other giant secrets, what other revolutionary discoveries are just waiting to be found, hiding right there in plain sight?